What's going on, you guys? Slim back here with a new video today, and today, you guys, we're here to talk about why MITSURUGI RYZEAL just won YCS Providence. Shout out to my son, Charlie Fudge. You already know, the young GOAT. He's already been a world champion. I can't even count how many tops this guy has, and now he is finally a champion, and it is super deserved. Honestly, this was one of the most intense, amazing YCSs to watch recently. Just seeing the caliber of players, especially in the last, in the top four in the finals, everything was just crazy. Going up against Shu Ping in the finals was nuts. This deck is just amazing. This is really what I think players were waiting to see. You've already known that we've had this kind of weird little mini kind of fake format until Alliance Insight was literally legal, and now we have seen the results, and it's crazy to think Malice didn't win. Everyone thought Malice was going to win. We'll talk about that a little bit in today's video, but those of you that are new here to this, I always go over the winning deck list, give my thoughts on it as to why I think it took down the YCS, and that's what we're going to do here today. So hopefully you guys enjoy. Of course, I will start by going into the list. Played 42 cards in the list. You guys are probably looking at it and seeing some things that might stand out. We'll go over those. It'll become clearer when you look more into the side deck and everything, so we'll get into it. So I'll start with the hand traps. Of course, the triple Ash Blossom. He chose to main deck triple Droll. Now, here was the thing. Players were debating for this YCS. Do I main deck Droll? Do I side deck Droll? Do I expect more MITSURUGI? Do I expect more Malice? Because Droll is not the best card into Malice. However, it has gotten a little bit better just because sometimes they do have to start in other ways, and Droll can actually hurt them a little more than it did before. Before Alliance, literally Droll was ass. It was just not good against the deck. Now it kind of does something, so it's nice to see that you can actually main deck the card. And then, of course, this is the card that just completely cripples MITSURUGI for the most part if they aren't able to open prayers and use prayers, of course, during the draw phase. So that is one thing that can hurt a lot. So Droll being in the main deck is very strong, especially going first. You set up your board backed up with a Droll. It's basically GG's right there. For the rest of the hand traps, you've got the 3 Fua and only 1 Pulia. And you guys are probably wondering, why 1 Pulia? Well, the other 2 are in the side deck. This comes down to siding patterns. It's one of the most common things you'll see among a lot of high caliber players like Charlie. They will main deck one ofs where you could main deck 3, and instead it'll end up just being because of the side deck pattern. So it makes sense. It also gives you that second Charmy to drop if you do draw into it, or if you open the one of with the Fua, you have the 2 Charmies to drop. Not only that, if worst case scenario you have to normal summon it, you can. It is a level 4, so it does have that synergy. Triple Nib in the main. This has been pretty standard. It's just very good against Malice. It's good against any deck that wants to overextend, especially if you're not respecting it. You can walk into a Nib like we saw all weekend, and that can literally be lights out for pretty much any deck. So pretty crazy. And then, of course, you've got the 3 copies of Imperm to round out the hand traps. Of course, for the RYZEALs, playing all the names, the 2 copies of X, the 2 copies of Ice, along with the 2 copies of Sword, 1 Node, and then one of the new Star RYZEAL. So you have basically the whole gang is here, along with the 1 copy of Bonfire and 3 7th Tachyon. For the consistency, it's just to give you the consistency that RYZEAL lost. This is just to give you as much consistency as possible. You guys already know what these cards do. They make Duo, they make Detonator, they do crazy things, so they're insane. And then for the MITSURUGI cards, now, bear with me. Pronouncing these cards is not easy, but you've got, of course, Aramasa. They're all one-ofs. I've noticed this has become more standard. I know in the pure build you run multiple copies of Aramasa, but in MITSURUGI RYZEAL you only need the 1 copy of Aramasa, the 1 copy of Kusanagi, and the 1 copy of Saji. So those are just standard. Those are your level 4s. Those are basically how you get your plays going with this absolutely broken custom card. I call it Hibiki. If you know what Hibiki is, it's a whiskey, so we call it Hibiki here, but we do know that a Habakiri is a absolute house of a card. Literally, even though it's a once per duel effect, you only need it to resolve once, and it's full combo. It's nuts. So 3 Habakiri along with the 3 other names, and then you've got, of course, he plays just the 1 copy of the Mirakumo. If you notice, there is no other one like the turtle, the food, whatever name was, I forgot its name, but do you know which one I'm talking about? The other ritual that Pure plays. Basically, it's probably a space issue, and you also don't need it in the deck. You're just relying on this because of its negate option, and also the Raigeki effect is crazy. Plus, this along with the 3 copies of the Habakiri are going to search everything you need. The engines just work really well together, so very, very solid. And then the rest of it, you are playing 3 prayers and the 1 ritual. Prayers is the best card in the deck. It helps you dodge a lot of things and helps you just play into a lot of things. This card is crazy. You set it up with your Murakumo, you guys already know, and that's how you get your Raigeki during your opponent's turn, which is just crazy. You get Raigeki, a search, a resummon, and a Raigeki all in one. Like, that's nuts. Plus, you literally get the search off this, and you can special back another one of your names. Like, that is just crazy. The whole Mitsurugi engine is just nuts, especially now that they have Habakiri. The consistency is there, and this is basically like a custom card. And then just the rest of the one-ups, one called by and one crossout. I like that they're playing both copies of this just to stop any hand traps that get in your way or stop any select cards in the mirror match. And then, of course, like I said, the one copy of the RYZEAL Cross, just something that you're able to get off of Star RYZEAL, and then you're able to do everything safely, having the negate built in as well. So main deck was 42 cards onto the side deck. So in the side deck, you got 3 copies of Lancia and 3 copies of Meows. That's obviously the cards needed for Malice. And then you also have the other 2 copies of Pulia. Pulia is actually pretty decent against against not only Mitsurugi, but it's actually really good, of course, into RYZEAL, but it's also decent into Malice now. So you have a good amount of options when going against that deck. I really feel that was one of the reasons we didn't see Malice win the event. It got close, like it did make it, I believe, what was it, top 4, was Aditya on the deck, and it came close, it just didn't make it. I think there was just so much hate for the deck, like everyone was prepared for that deck, everyone went into the room knowing that Malice is coming to win the event, and it got stopped again, so it was pretty crazy. And then he is playing the one copy of C103. If you guys don't know, you use 7 Tachyon in this, you reveal this, that's how you get to Lancia. It's broken, it's absolutely crazy, love it. They found room in the side deck, along with the one copy of Talents and the one copy of Thrust. Just gives you basically 2 copies of Talents. But another thing with Talents, you can also get this broken card. This card was an absolute just nightmare when Flu played it. This card was crazy in Bird Up. This card is nuts. Harpy's Featherstorm, those of you that know, you know. This card is crazy. This is basically just, you can negate any monster effects for the turn. So you basically make a Castel, you flip this, your opponent gets no monster effects. Absolutely bonkers. We saw Charlie do it in the top 4. It was nuts. This card is crazy. And then the one Purification. So this is basically like a pseudo Omni negate for Mitsurugi. He just sided it. It's just a good going first card. Lastly, the extra deck, you got the Castel. Obviously, this is just a rank 4 toolbox. The fact that you can play this, it being a wing beast for some reason, makes it work with Harpy's Featherstorm. Doesn't get better than that. You got, of course, this was another crazy card that he played. Being able to play this is literally to search your 7th Tachyon so that you can bridge into RYZEAL is ridiculous. Yeah, this card is bonkers. Definitely looking at this card. If you're playing Mitsurugi, you have the level 8 bodies. You can literally just overlay them, set them up, and it's crazy. So I'm all about it. You can literally detach, search your 7 Tachyon, bridge into your RYZEAL cards, and then literally play prayers or whatever and get back what you detached off. So that's nuts, especially because you summoned it properly. So crazy. This card is nuts. You got, of course, the Eclipse Twins, the one Exciton, the one copy of Ouroboros. I found this interesting. I don't know if I don't remember if I saw them actually summon this, but it does have some pretty nifty effects since you do have the level 4 bodies. So being able to, get a random card out of your opponent's hand, or just being able to banish from the graveyard, or just any of these 3 effects. So pretty cool. Just cool to see that they have the other option in the deck. You got, of course, the Gallic Granite. This card's cool. It searches Nib. Feral Limps is obvious for your reptiles. Aggregator goes with X. You guys already know. Masquerade is 7th Tachyon to get to X. You've got your Baguska. You've got your number 60. I saw this card actually win a couple games because you literally can just use the effect to either re-special, or you can use the effect to double the opponent, the monster, and then attack, double the attack. So yeah, it's pretty crazy. So this card is great. Just really good utility. Of course, the one Detonator, even at 1, it's still a house. 2 copies of Duo Drive. And lastly, the one copy of Dynamundo. Very, very solid 42 card deck. Another fun fact, it looked like Kamal played the exact same deck, so shout out to Kamal. Both Kamal and Charlie playing this deck, and Charlie brought it all the way home. I honestly feel this deck won the YCS because it was the best position deck to win the YCS. And what I mean by that is that Malice had a lot of hate on its back. There's Lancia, there's Meows, Pulia even now, Nibiru. There's so many cards that really just kind of check the deck, especially if you're a really good pilot, you know where to check the deck. And it literally is just, it had a target on its back. And I think a lot of players were more prepared for it than everyone thought. And I think that's one of the main reasons it won. Another reason this deck list won, it was designed by 2 of the best deck builders around, literally Charlie and Kamal making this deck, bringing it as far as they both did. I believe Kamal made it top 16. I believe, if I remember reading correctly, it was either top 16 or top 8. It was one of the 2, but I think it was top 16. And Charlie making it all the way to the finals with his deck and then winning with the deck was awesome. And I just think that this really is the solid way to play RYZEAL. Pure RYZEAL is a cool deck. You can still play it, but honestly, honestly, MITSURUGI RYZEAL is nuts. Shout out to Pure MITSURUGI. I think that deck is very cool as well. I think the RYZEAL cards just give it a little something extra. Having the detonator, having the rank 4 toolbox is very, very solid. And then you can play these consistency cards as well as, having some blowout cards in here as well. So I think overall this was the best call for the YCS, and clearly it was because it ended up winning. But again, shout out to Charlie for winning. First of many, I'm sure. The way he's been playing over the years, I've seen him basically grow up. It's crazy. Like, he literally is just an absolute phenom, and it's great to see him get that first ring that he's been chasing for a really long time. But hopefully you guys enjoyed the video. Be sure to let me know in the comment section down below what you thought of the deck, what you thought of the YCS, and what you think of the format going forward. I think we've seen a preview of what it's going to be like, and honestly, I don't think it's the worst thing ever, but I think it's definitely going to be something that you have to make sure you're prepared for. I really like that MITSURUGI is shining as an engine, whether it's in the pure deck or as a sub-engine. I think the deck is just very well positioned, and along with RYZEAL, we're going to see a lot of great things going forward in our format leading up to Nats. But hopefully you guys enjoyed the video. Smash the like button if you did. I'll see you guys in the next video. Thank you for watching.